Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils. Manchester United have drawn 0-0 with Liverpool at Anfield and it doesn't feel good. Now, before the game I said I would absolutely have taken a point. I would gladly have taken a point. I would have been pretty happy taking a point from Anfield. But the way the game went, I'm not happy with how that game turned out. I think United... No, actually, let's go back a little bit because the starting 11, there's a few changes and a few surprises in there. I was quite shocked to see Ashley Young starting as a winger. I actually thought he might be playing 3-5-2. I thought that might have been the reason why, and he might have actually been a wing back. Wasn't the case. I was a little bit disappointed to not see Marcus Rashford. I thought the explanation of that he's picked up a knock made a little bit of sense, but I thought him and Jesse Lingard should have been on from the start, and they should have been pressuring that Liverpool defence. We allowed them too much respect. Lukaku didn't turn up in this one, didn't get the service, didn't turn up. Mkhitaryan didn't turn up, didn't get the service, didn't turn up. You know, would this have been a game where Marouane Fellaini can put his stamp on it? Would this have been a game where Paul Pogba can put his stamp on it? United had a lot of players out. Wasn't troubled at the back, really, too often. I mean, genuinely, really, it wasn't like they were shredding us. They was creating chances, but that's, you know, them at home. You would expect that. David De Gea was absolutely sensational. A couple of them saves really kept us in the game. But like I said, I don't think they tore us to pieces. They was quite comfortably the better side, but they didn't tear us to pieces. I'm just a little bit disappointed with Manchester United and Mourinho's attitude to the game. Now, I absolutely reject the fact that, the comment that's definitely coming that United parked the bus there, because we did not park the bus at Anfield today. We just didn't play very well. We was set up with 4 attacking players. We didn't sit and try and hold. We definitely tried to play on the counter. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let anybody tell you that there's anything wrong with playing counter-attacking football in a big match, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But what we didn't have was quality on the ball. We had no quality on the ball. Towards the end of the first half, I thought Anthony Martial was looking fantastic, and I thought we really need to get him on the ball a little bit more, because he looks like a match winner. He looked like the kind of guy that was going to go do something in this game. Turned out not to be the case, didn't it, really? I don't know how you fix what we saw there. It's definitely a mentality issue. And I just thought that work rate, that tempo that you would have got from Lingard and Rashford would have been really beneficial for us in that final third. I thought if we'd have had that, we'd have looked good. There was a couple of times that Smalling and Jones switched off a little bit at the back, but like I said, I didn't think we was torn to pieces. Now, you know what the newspapers are like, and you certainly know what Liverpool fans are like. They're going to be completely rewriting history on this one. That we was hanging on all the way through. Wasn't the case. They're going to be like, oh, it was like the Alamo backs to the wall. United came and parked the bus. Wasn't the case. Now, they'll also say this is a bad result. Isn't the case. Now, if you're drawing at home to your rivals, that's a bad result for you. Getting a point on the road is a good result. Like I said, I would have taken the draw. The manner of how the draw came about, though, it was a little bit shithouse from United. I will admit. It wasn't a park in the bus, but it was a bit shithouse. Disappointing is the one. But we didn't lose. I think that's an important thing, that we didn't lose ground to our direct rivals. We didn't lose. It's disappointing not to win the game. But we don't often go to Anfield and put it on them and win. You know, it's not something that happens with a massive regularity anyway, is it? So I think you sort of go, all right, you know, we didn't lose, we didn't win, but we didn't lose. On to the next one. We have to perform better against Spurs. We have to have a different mentality and a different attitude against Spurs, because not only are they good going forward, they're also quite strong at the back as well. Certainly stronger than Liverpool. And that's what really disappointed me about United today, is because we'd lacked quality in the final third. We didn't really give ourselves the opportunity to go and do something there. Because the opportunity was there to do something. I mean, like, legitimately was there to do something. The opportunity for Manchester United to win the game was there. Lukaku missed a gilt-edged chance. I'm not going to say it was a sitter. Certainly wasn't a sitter. But all the Lukaku haters come out, don't they? You know, he has one chance in the game, doesn't put it away, and everyone's on his back already again. I mean, it happens. You know, you can go through every single top striker and say, oh, they should have scored that, should have scored that, should have scored that. Truth is, the best in the world miss about 70-75% of the chances that they take. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Lukaku with that. I'm not worried about the little kick incident with Lovren. It's nothingness, isn't it? I think, let's see what you guys are saying. Man of the match? I don't know, to be honest. Possibly Herrera, possibly Matic. I thought they had quite a lot of work, man. Masked Man says we played shit, man. We did play shit, and I think that's the top and bottom, I think. Wait. Real Pong Paul says, these plastics wanted Mourinho out. Hang on, is someone saying Mourinho out after this? We go to Anfield and we get a draw and people are saying Mourinho out. Now, let's go and look at some realities, right? We had a lot of injuries. And I think the big injury really that we're still overlooking is Pogba, but we're also missing Baye. You know, I don't have the confidence in Smalling and Jones to be as good as when Baye's in there. So maybe we did sit the midfield a little bit more, a little bit deeper than we maybe should have. But, no. Yeah, I think De Gea probably is man of the match. Definitely, I think. Someone's saying Herrera lost the ball about 10 times. Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you, is that we didn't have any quality on the ball. Yeah, there's a load of trolls in here saying Mourinho out. That's obviously not the case. There's no one seriously in here thinking Mourinho out. Unbelievable. International break killed our momentum. Yes, that's an excellent point, says Russian Crush. I think it's evident how Fellaini is a key player, and our tactics, Matic and Herrera don't work together. Well, I get it's one game, isn't it? So you can't really judge on one game against Liverpool and say, forget it, that never worked. Sometimes you have to let it settle a little bit. It was a massively frustrating match. Was it 38% possession? Someone just posted 38% possession. Yeah, that's not good enough. No, someone in there saying stop making excuses. Have I made any excuses? I've literally said we wasn't good enough. We played crap and we didn't have the quality on the ball. That's not an excuse. That's me talking about the factual realities of the game. Yeah, we played absolutely garbage. But if you're going to take a positive out of it, the positive is that you got a point away at Anfield and you restricted them to point. It's 2 points dropped at home. It's a point gained on the road. It really is. I'm not sure it was negative tactics, to be honest. I'm not definitely sure it was negative tactics. I just think we played shit. I think that's the top and bottom of it. I think to an extent some of the tactics is that we didn't chase and harry enough when they was in possession. Certainly when their back four was in possession, we just allowed them to have it. But what other negativity do you see in the tactics? Can someone actually point out to me a tactical negativity that we had today? Because I'm not sure I can. Marshall was better than Young. Why'd he subbed off instead of that liability, says Iron. Probably because he was tired, and he'd also faded by the time that he did take him off. I think he was just looking to mix it up, I think. Universal Peace says it was negative. Please just give me an example of how it was negative then. You can't just say it's negative tactics. Please just tell me what is negative about the tactics, because I saw 4 attacking players from Manchester United. Do you know what I'm saying? Would one matter have made a difference? We see, before the game, I wanted to see Rashford and Lingard start, because in my head I was thinking, right, Matic and Herrera is quite a combative midfield, so anything that comes into there is going to be quite forceful down the middle. That was the case. But I thought, Marshall, as good as he is on the ball, sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you need a different key for a different lock. And Ashley Young, he's not physical in any shape or form. He's not physical in terms of the press, he's not physical in terms of the tackle, and I just wanted a bit more physicality, because I think in games like this, I think you've got to have physicality, and that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Lukaku being physical. I wanted to see Rashford being physical, and he was when he came on. You saw immediately once Rashford came on, he's putting the fullback under pressure. He's making the fullback play risky balls that he doesn't want to make, and United are trying to get onto that second ball. That was the sort of thing that I really wanted to see Marcus Rashford doing. That was the sort of thing I wanted to see Jesse Lingard doing. Lead from the front. The template for this game was Chelsea at home last season. Chelsea at home last season was going to come and absolutely wipe the floor with Manchester United. I saw that starting 11 and went, oh my God, we're in for a long day here. I don't see how we're going to win this. But tactically, United had it right against Chelsea, because what we did was we put their defence under pressure when they was in possession. Do you know how many times I saw Liverpool stepping out of defence with nobody around them? Lukaku just chilling, the wingers just chilling, all sort of pulling back into midfield a little bit. Just allowing their defence to walk up with it. That's not good enough. That was what you need to be changing for Manchester United. And I think that's what Mourinho's substitutes made an attempt to do. Someone in the comments there saying Lukaku showing his true colours didn't show up in the big games. I also put it to you there though. Did he have the service that he's had in the other games? Did he have the possession that he's had in the other games? Someone mentioned earlier we had 38% possession. So Lukaku had, what, a tiny fraction of that? You know, that's the one. Universal Peace, not pressing the ball to win back the ball quick enough. Yes, that's, I don't say it's a negative tactic, but that's a tactic we could have employed. Wide players playing the halfway line. I can't read, the comments coming too quick, sorry. Once I try and hold one of the comments, it just starts going, bouncing up and down. Playing young as a winger is negative. How is playing anybody in any position inherently negative? It's the tactics that you put upon that player which can be negative or positive. Just picking a certain player, it isn't negative or positive. It's neutral. It's what you do with that player that makes a difference. Howson says Lukaku just got no service. Someone again saying Mourinho's tactics are negative. Like, no more just mentioning Mourinho's tactics are negative. Give me an example of what was negative about the tactics. Because for me, the starting lineup looked pretty attacking. There was 4 attacking players on that pitch. Whether or not you think Ashley Young's the greatest player in the world or not, he was deployed as a winger. Now, he might have also had a secondary job, but I would have played Rashford and Lingard and also given them secondary jobs, because this is a team sport, man. These are the sort of performances where you need the whole 11 to make something happen. We need Pogba, says Amandi. We kept 8 players behind the ball, hence we were negative. I totally disagree. If you look when we won possession, the players was in the right sort of places. Maybe they wasn't getting in behind, but we wasn't all behind the ball. Gary says, I'm rationalising sit and hope football. That's so anti-United. Can you please explain to me how Sir Alex Ferguson was different in these games? Because he wasn't. This is a big game against one of our biggest rivals. The primary objective of this game is to not lose, right? The secondary objective is to win. All the way down the list, somewhere in about 9th position, is to be entertaining. No one gives a toss if you're entertaining in these games, right? Do you know the worst games of football ever was the 1999 Champions League final? But does anyone give a toss about how boring that game was? No. Does anyone give a toss about how much United was totally dominated and should have been 3 or 4-0 down after about 30 minutes? No, because at the end of the day, United won that game. This is what it's about. Not losing is the primary. Winning is the secondary, especially away. Now at home, that's different. Winning is the primary, not losing is the secondary. That's at home. So that was what Liverpool's objective would have been today, is to beat Manchester United today, and they didn't. We got our first game, we got our first result, they didn't get their first result. Fergie was different, says King Tutty. Fergie wasn't different. Fergie was not different in these games. Matic was our only good part of this game, says Matthias. Taking Coutinho, Salah and Firmino off to close the end of the game, Klopp saved us. Did he save us? Because I thought he still was going for it at the end, to be honest. Big game means get the points. When did Sir Alex ever